Hey, what is up, people? Skywalker Hendrix here, back with another video for you guys today. And today we're talking about a very, very exciting announcement by Hot Toys. They announced this figure sometime last week, and yeah, just super, super excited. Of course, you probably saw on the thumbnail. We are, of course, talking about the one and only Obi-Wan Kenobi. This figure looks absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. Of course, as always, we'll be throwing up pictures throughout the video to show off, the details I'm talking about here. But, a little history lesson, kind of akin to the most recent Anakin announcements. We've gotten a lot of Anakins lately, and with that, you automatically think, okay, when's Obi-Wan coming? Because if you got an Anakin, you need an Obi-Wan, especially for Revenge of the Sith specific looks. Now, the Anakin, we started off with the Artisan Anakins. People were really excited about those. And then, a lot of the more average collectors, I guess you would say, started coming out and being like, okay, where is our sculpted Anakin? And, we were kind of back and forth. We knew it was inevitable. I think it was a no-brainer that they're going to do a sculpted, wide release Anakin Skywalker. And, of course, that day came, sometime last month they announced the Anakin, which, of course, looked amazing. Go check out my video for that, talking about that figure. I am beyond excited for that sculpted Anakin. I do have both of the Artisan releases, so I'm very curious to compare the two. But in a sense, I'm more excited for this new Anakin with the sculpted hair. Maybe not more excited, but just as excited for the sculpted hair Anakin, because I could kind of pose that one and really treat him like a more typical Hot Toys figure. So, with that, we went to speculating about the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, will Obi-Wan be sculpted, or were they going to do an Artisan Obi-Wan Kenobi? We weren't really sure. Hot Toys hasn't really done a lot of short hair characters. And, of course, we did get the Artisan Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 2. And along with a sculpted version to go with that. And in that case, I actually thought the sculpted Obi-Wan from Episode 2 looked a lot better than the Artisan version. Now, we'll have to see when that actually comes out in hand. But very excited. I'm so excited for that Episode 2 Obi-Wan. But yeah, with all these Revenge of the Sith specific Anakins, we were like, when's our Obi-Wan coming? And then the release, or the announcement, I should say, of the sculpted Anakin, of course, came with the lava base. Now, this was a different type of lava base than we had gotten all the way back with the first Darkside Anakin release. But then Hot Toys did an Artisan, a Sideshow exclusive Artisan, because Sideshow did not get any of the Celebration exclusive Darkside Anakins. So they kind of got their own Anakin that was more Revenge of the Sith specific more than anything else, with the yellow eyes. I'm going to try to get that one, but to be honest, I already have the Celebration exclusive Darkside Anakin, and yes, the eyes are a little bit more orange than yellow, like they should be for Revenge of the Sith, but I am getting two of the Hot Toys sculpted hair Anakins, so I will just simply use the switch out eyes from the dark side eyes that come with that Anakin that are yellow, same eyes that they'll use for the Artisan version. I'll pop those in my Celebration Darkside Anakin and give him the base that I still have from my original Darkside Anakin. And I have that exact release, except with a robe. So, in my opinion, I'm not I'm saving a little bit of money by not picking up a third one and just transforming my Celebration Anakin into what Hot Toys is giving us, except better because it has the robe. So, in my opinion, that's a win in my book. Yes, I still have to get 2 of the sculpted hair Anakins, but I was already going to do that anyway. So, yes, I will have that complete release exactly how Hot Toys would give it to me. But I just got to throw the eyes in myself and snag that base, which, again, I already have. So, it was just a no-brainer in my opinion. But if the opportunity ever arises, I might try to pick up that Sideshow exclusive Artisan Anakin. I didn't even try for it on Sideshow. I was just like, you know what? Nah, I don't need it. As much as I love Anakin, as much as I want to get everything Anakin related, every figure Anakin related, that one was just, I already have the figure. And I'm going to have those exact same eyes that come with the sculpted, and I can throw them in. I have the base already. It was just a no-brainer. So, with all that, Obi-Wan, we were like, is he going to be Artisan? Is he going to be sculpted? They kind of threw us a curveball on this one, because this, and it was funny, one of my buddies sent the picture of the face, which I'll throw up here, the close-up, and he's like, man, that hair looks real. And, you see on some of the pictures, it says, the fringe in the front is actually like the wool hair implantation. Now, I didn't know how I felt about this at first. I was kind of just like, I wish they just would have went all sculpted personally. If they would have went full Artisan, I felt like that would have been just fine. But I didn't love, and I still am kind of on the half and half sculpted hat, with the little bit of rooted hair. But I don't know, the head sculpt has grown on me a ton. I really think the head sculpt looks really good, and of course it is reuse. It is the same, which we knew was going to happen. It is the same head sculpt that came with the both Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobis. So a lot of us have already seen that head sculpt. I have both of those figures. So I've seen that head sculpt up close. It is absolutely fantastic. Now I will say, hot take, a lot of people crap on the original Obi-Wan head sculpt. I think that figure still holds up, and I'm actually planning to do a video specifically, kind of a shelf worthy. I used to do this when I covered Black Series and imports and stuff, but a kind of shelf worthy talking point on, is that old Obi-Wan still shelf worthy? Because, and my same friend Hunter, shout out 212 Hunter, he asked me, should I go for this Obi-Wan? Because he is, and as I'll show, he is very heavy battle damage. This is a Mustafar specific Obi-Wan. Now, he's like, I wanted that cleaner kind of Utapau look. And I was like, I think the old one is good. Like, I still think that figure holds up. I have it. I still think it's a great Obi-Wan on the shelf. I actually display him next to my Artisan Anakin, and he doesn't really stick out at all. Like, he fits really good with that. Now you get up close, and I think the paint apps could have been updated, and if they would have updated the paint apps and, modern paint, and thrown in some moving eyes on that, dude, I think that would have been the move. But I understand a lot of people don't really love that head sculpt in the community. I don't know why. It's weird. Again, stay tuned for that video. I'm going to be going in depth over why I think that figure still holds up, and I don't see what people are like, oh, this is a stunt double. Bro, what? So anyway, yeah. But the choice of head sculpt was definitely, like, we were expecting that. And I think it's fine that they did that. I think it looks really good. I think they could have tweaked it a little bit, and I do hope they tweak it a little bit. Just, I think in Revenge of the Sith, his beard is just like the littlest bit longer, and they definitely go a little bit too orange in my opinion. Not crazy, it's not like super bad, but they definitely lean into the orange on the hair. So I think they could dial it back, go a little more brownish, brownish orange color, which I guess it is, but it's too dark. It's too dark of a color. If they lightened that color, I think it would be perfect. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's such a minor gripe. Like I said, I have both those head sculpts, and they still look amazing on the shelf. It still looks like Obi-Wan, and it's probably like an 8.5, 9 out of 10 head sculpt. So I am a little bit hoping. I actually think the color they went with for the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan was perfect. And if they would have translated that over, I think it would have worked really well. But like I said, besides the point, I still think the head sculpt looks absolutely amazing. And actually, I'm just really, really excited for this release. Getting into some of the other aspects, of course, it has the rolling eyeballs, the hair on the front, which, yes, I wish they would have just done one or the other. Now, I do think that they will do a clean Obi-Wan, going back to what my friend asked me, if he picks up the old Obi-Wan that is clean, or he gets this new one, or I think he is getting the new one anyway, or if he waits to see if they do a clean version. Now, they definitely will do a clean version. Now, the question is, though, I had another friend who didn't want this because of the rooted hair on the front. He's like, I'll wait for I think that's, in my opinion, a little bit silly he got the Anakin, and I think it would be a disservice to that figure to not get the pairing Obi-Wan to duel him on the shelf with the lava base. This comes with the matching lava base to go with Anakin. I mean, this will be a massive centerpiece Revenge of the Sith Battle of the Heroes display. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. And so yeah, I think they will do a second cleaner version of Obi-Wan. Maybe it will be fully sculpted, but it will just be the original Clone Wars head sculpt that doesn't have the fringe coming down. It'll just be that clean look, and I think that'll be just fine for a lot of collectors. I just think that this Mustafar one is the way to go. Now, if they do that clean version, I'm probably gonna get it, depending, and that one will probably come with a robe. It won't come with the base, stuff like that. But yeah, this figure looks fan-freaking-tastic. I cannot wait to have Anakin and Obi-Wan dueling on the shelf. That is just going to be fantastic in my opinion. And again, I just think this figure looks really good. I think it actually has a really cool presence on the shelf. Just that battered Obi-Wan, it's just gonna hit. And I've definitely come around on the little hair piece in front. I think it is going to work. I think Hot Toys knows what they're doing at this point with the wool hair, and my Artisan Anakins look perfect from how they came out of the box is how they look on the shelf right now. Granted, I don't touch the heads at all. I don't move the eyes or do any of that kind of stuff. He is kind of in a museum pose on the shelf. He'll probably stay that way. I just don't. I've seen some people that pose the hell out of their figures, and their Anakin's hair is poofed out from grabbing on that head sculpt and doing all this and that, and I'm just, nope, not for me. I'll leave it how it is, and that's why I am excited about that sculpted Anakin, because I can move him around and do whatever I want to with that figure. So yeah, but either way, I think Hot Toys knows what they're doing. I think the coloring will be just fine when that figure comes out. They know that they're smart enough to know that that is a risky move to do half and half, and that you have to match that. It's gotta blend perfectly. So regardless of that, yeah, I'm not too worried. You know, there's always a possibility something happens in production, but for the most part, I do have faith in Hot Toys at this point. I really think they put out great products and the quality is there, you know, for the majority of people. And yeah, I'm just beyond excited for this Obi-Wan. I'm so happy that we are getting an Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan, updated Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. You know, that clean version that is inevitable will go great with the brand new Grievous, which stay tuned for the review for that figure. That figure I am so excited to open. He should be here literally any day now, and I just, dude, cannot wait. That Grievous, bro, chef's kiss. Cannot wait for that figure. So getting his Obi-Wan, getting a clean version that could duel, which they did tease in those Grievous pictures. They did tease that clean Obi-Wan with the new head sculpt. So I think that, you know, that's a given. We saw the tease of this Obi-Wan in the sculpted Anakin figure preview pictures, whatever, promo pics. So they do that. That's how you kind of, obviously they've done it before where they don't release the figure, but most of the time when you see a figure that is newer, that we haven't seen yet, announced in promo pics for another figure, you know it's inevitable. So yeah, if you want to wait, you know, you 99% sure you won't get the lava base that will go with perfect with the Anakin. So, you know, yeah, it's up to you, but I think this figure looks absolutely fantastic. If anything, like I told this to my buddy, I'm like, you know, if you get this and you have if you have the Clone Wars Mandalorian armor Obi-Wan, you can take that head sculpt off, put it on this Mustafar Obi-Wan, and then just display the helmet on that Mando. Or if you have the Clone Wars armor Obi-Wan, you could, I know it's not ideal, but you could take that head sculpt off of that figure and put the clone helmet on that figure. So there's ways to get around that hair fringe. But yeah, I'm just hyped. I'm rolling with it. We'll see how it turns out, of course. But like I said, I think Hot Toys knows what they're doing. They've put out nothing but bangers lately. So like literally nothing but bangers. So yeah, let me know everyone's excitement for this figure down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think. Are you going to grab this Obi-Wan, or are you going to wait for the clean version that will come? If you have any doubt that will come, it's coming. It's not going to have the wool hair. It's going to be a clean head sculpt. It'll be 100% reuse from those Clone Wars releases. So you know, if the wool hair thing ain't for you, which I know it's not for a lot of people, just wait for that. Yes, you won't get the base, but, you know, or you could just get both and just deal with the consequences later. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. I really do want to know what you guys think of this figure. Also, weird thing, but if anyone has heard anything about David Edge, he is a community member, he is a channel member. I haven't heard from him in a long time. A lot of my buddies that he watches as well, we just have not heard from him in a long time. So if anyone knows anything or, you know, knows where he is, I hope everything is okay. He was a good friend, and yeah, we just are concerned. So yeah, let me know anything about that. I know it's a long shot, but just, you know, shoot me a DM on Instagram, same username, Skywalker Hendricks. So yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Let me know your thoughts. Stay tuned for reviews. My next review will probably be Ahsoka or Grievous. Then I have Battle Damage Darth Vader to review. Very excited about that. I have the Ahsoka Rex, the 212th Airborne I still got to review. Celebration exclusive Dark Side Anakin, I'll still review that. And both Ahsokas, the Clone Wars Ahsoka. I think that's all I got right now. I might do a review for the Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I have so many figures in boxes right now. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But the Grievous review will be very soon because I should be getting that like literally today or tomorrow. So yeah, shout out to all you guys. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, may the Force be with you. Ayy.